What's up, guys? It's KJ, back with another video. I feel like every YouTuber says that. What's up, guys? It's me, back with another video. I need to switch that up. What's up, guys? It's just catchy, because it's just like something everybody says. Anyway, my name, for those of you who do not know, my name is KJ Rufo. I live in Portland, Oregon, West Coast boy, and I play baseball at the University of Portland, which is one of three Division I, three and a half Division I schools in Oregon. Today I'll be going over plyos and J-bands, why they are so important when it comes to arm care and throwing. This is more geared towards pitchers because I rarely have seen other people use plyos that are position players. I've seen a few, but this is more geared towards pitchers because you guys throw the most. So before we get into it, let's get this intro going. So let's go! Okay, first off, of course, we are going with J-bands. I can't really show you guys them because I have nobody to hold the camera for me, and I feel like it'd be easier if I just explain it. But first, we're gonna go over your shoulder. Like why is your shoulder hurt? This is off of my knowledge that I've had with shoulder problems before. So those of you who do not know and you didn't watch my recruiting story, I went over how I was recruited by college coaches, and I wasn't, obviously before I wasn't a pitcher, I was a catcher, and then when I figured out I could throw, they had me throw a bunch in these showcases and stuff. And that's the one mistake I did, which I didn't do, was the amount of throwing I did in a very short amount of time, and my body wasn't conditioned for it. I wasn't conditioned to throw, but I did it anyway. But what I will say is, the one thing I did wish I did came to pitching was taking arm care more seriously, because I didn't do that and I ended up paying the price for it and had some really bad shoulder problems last summer because I didn't know how to do anything. So one, I did research, I watched YouTube videos, I went to the doctor and they showed me the anatomy of your shoulder, what hurts, why it hurts, what you need to do, different stretches you can do, and all that good stuff. So I ended up actually being okay. I didn't tear anything, didn't do anything like that, which is great. Like, I didn't want to have that problem. So I ended up going to the University of Portland, obviously, and then building a routine and figuring out, what works for me, what I need to do to make sure my arm stays healthy, because I have so much to do, especially at school, being on the baseball team. So first, the anatomy of your shoulder. So what you have in your shoulder are more for baseball. Obviously for softball players, they're underhand, baseball players are overhand. So you have so much stress in your rotator cuff and your labrum that it's so important to make sure that you stay stretched and make sure that your arm stays conditioned before you throw. This is like any time. So you have your rotator cuff in the front, and then your labrum, you have the humeral head, which is just inside, obviously inside of your shoulder, and you have your shoulder socket, your humeral head, and then right in between that is your labrum. So a lot of guys, when they throw so vigorously, sometimes it's just a fluke thing and it just tear. But you can actually tear that labrum, and that's a lot of how guys have arm problems. Another one is your rotator cuff, just from overuse, and depending on how you throw, how hard you throw, if you're stretched, how far you release the ball, if your body's out in front. A lot of times when guys fall out in front, they keep their shoulder back here, and that's when it tears. And then when it comes to your elbow and stuff, your UCL goes through here, Tommy John, as most of you probably do know. So yeah, that's a little rundown of it. Obviously there's more to it, but I don't want to get into all of the scientific things, because I know a couple people that are nursing students are probably watching this right now and they're like, this is wrong, but I hope it's not. Actually, I know it's not, because I studied it, but they have too. First, we're gonna go over J-bands. So with J-bands, these are super crucial when it comes to before you throw, pre-throw. They make sure that your body is stretched out. They help with your endurance to throwing, your recovery period. Guys use this after they throw too. And obviously everybody's favorite, it increases your velocity. Just as do plyos, which I will get into later in the video. They also help create or maintain, obviously maintain and create arm strength through in and out of a season. So if you're not in a season, you're not throwing, it's still important to do J-band work because it'll maintain your arm strength and you won't lose anything. Through the season though, you want to make sure you keep doing it because it's gonna help you prevent any injuries. There's a bunch of different work you can do. You don't ever want to put J-bands at any height. Like you want to have dialed in a specific height because whatever height it's at, it'll create how you stretch, like the mobility of the arm exercises you do. So first, when you put it at your shoulder height, this more activates like the top of your deltoids and your rotator cuff and your scap, and there's like 3 different muscles back here that connect, and it's like they're like fingers and they go into your shoulder. I was having arm problems and like the second finger, I believe, I forget what the name of it's called, but stretches for that I did were I put it at shoulder height on a fence. And I did a lot of like arm swims where I was just like pulling through like this and then these, and then I'd turn around, face the fence and go the other way like this, and that I felt really a lot in the back of my shoulder. So if you're having arm pains or if you're having shoulder pains in the back of your elbow or the back of your shoulder, those help a lot. To activate more of like your back muscles, a lot of guys will do flies and open up and squeeze their traps. Those help too. And then when you put it at elbow height, a lot of guys tuck in their elbow here and they just pull and pull and pull. And this one you feel more in the front of your shoulder and here. When you flip and you face the fence, you go the other way, you feel it more in the front here and in the back. And then when it comes to not putting it on the fence, I'll show you guys. They hold here and they squeeze like this. This helps warm up your triceps, your biceps, and the tendons in your elbows. Guys will go over the top too, like so. So yeah, that's a lot of what you do for like before you throw. Post work, a lot of guys, or at least at the college I'm at, so a lot of it doesn't consist of bands. Jesus, what are you doing? I'm talking.
I wanted to scare you.
Oh my God. So I think that's all I have for that. So now I'll move on to plyos. Okay, so obviously the heavier the ball, this one's lighter so I can like really chuck it, but just for like presentation, I'll show you guys. When you're throwing it and you have a bigger ball, pull and then release and throw. But for heavier balls, it makes it a little harder. That sun is gnarly, but something that is important for weighted balls are they overall build arm strength, and based off of what Driveline has specifically had on their website and research, lighter weight baseball or lighter weight balls, like this is heavier, but balls that are under 9 ounces.
Wait a minute, wait a
The fact that I don't even remember how heavy a baseball is sad. How heavy is a baseball? 5 1/4 ounces, and then they're 9 1/4 in circumference. But basically what I was saying was lighter weighted balls that you throw are actually safer. Underweight baseballs have been shown to produce superior elbow angular velocity. The underweight baseballs train faster arm speed, which if you think about it, it makes sense. Like the faster whip you have of a ball, the harder you're gonna throw it. Overweight baseballs also help condition your arm. So, I mean, that's just pretty self-explanatory, but if you're throwing hard, or if you're throwing a heavier ball, if you guys have ever had heavier weighted balls and then after throwing them or doing your plyos, you go out and throw and you hold a baseball, it's like a wiffle ball. Like you just can't, like your body just doesn't understand that the ball is lighter, and that's why a lot of guys will spike it. And you actually throw it harder, and from the naked eye, like it looks like you're throwing heat. But yeah, that's basically it for weighted balls. Just overall, they, 1, help you throw harder, 2, condition your arm, weighted the heavier balls, and 3, the lighter balls, they create more whip and they help you have a different, like I just said, angular velocity with your elbow, which helps you throw harder too. And that's all I got for those 2 things. That's all I was gonna go over in this video. Oh, I'm not wearing my merch, of course, but I'm wearing Baseballism merch, so make sure you go buy that because they have some good stuff. that's all I got. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure you stay out there. It's freezing here in Portland, Oregon. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you on the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, stay safe out there. Peace!
That was a heavy ball.